A lot of us are sending our kids off to college for the first time this upcoming week. And there are some crucial conversations that we need to have about substance use to keep them safe. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. Unfortunately, the first 6 weeks of college are when the most tragic and traumatic things happen for new students. We also know that our young adult kids are most likely to experience or even accidentally perpetrate sexual assault more during college than any other time in their lives, and that at least half of those incidences involve one or both people being under the influences of alcohol or other drugs. Even if we have a kiddo who's committed to not using things, it's still important conversations. I got 2 3 a.m. calls from my own kid in the first month of freshman year with him dealing with life-threatening situations happening around him that we never talked about. And I'm the drug lady. So open up the conversation, not with your list of all of the dangers and what to do about it in that typical TEDx lecture style that we tend to do, but by asking questions that spark them to self-reflect, firm up their stance and their strategies, and seek any information that they're missing. So here are some question ideas. One is, what do you imagine could go wrong or get unhealthy with alcohol or other drug use? And if they're not pouring out with their own ideas, prompt them with some specific topic areas like THC, alcohol, prescription drugs, lacings with fentanyl or other dangerous drugs, drink spikings, overdoses, alcohol poisoning, sexual assaults, driving under the influence, etc. Another question, what do you know about the impacts of alcohol or THC or other drugs on brains and bodies and mental health at this age? Because they need to be aware that their brains are still growing and impacted by substance use and long term. And we've seen huge leaps in depression and psychosis just from THC use in college. And third question, what are your plans for staying safe and healthy and responsible about substances? And consider providing them with fentanyl test strips and drink covers, which I'll give you some links for in the description. A related question, or another way to put that, is what are your guidelines and limits for yourself, those lines that you refuse to cross, and how are you going to stick to that? Or what relationship do you want to have or not want to have with alcohol and other drugs? It's important that you talk through, when would you get medical attention for someone? What are the signs of an alcohol poisoning or a drug overdose, and how would you respond to that? Make sure they're aware of the Good Samaritan laws in the state that they're in, and that you equip them with Narcan. And finally, what would you consider problem use? When would you worry about your own use or a friend's, and how would you handle that? And make sure that they know what those resources are on campus before they even get there. And respond to any I don't knows with, well, let's look that up and figure it out. And make sure that you stress your availability, as I did, 24/7, to keep talking about these issues and get your support when needed.